it's all just deepening a connection within yourself. So that connection within yourself, because you harness the universe, you harness, and it all lives inside of you. It is part of you. You're connected to it always. There's no disconnection from it. It's just that the only way we look at it is that we need to work on our connection, is we need to work on listening to that connection. We need to build a relationship with ourselves to get to know those aspects better. And the only thing that those things add to us really is that when we say we're going to connect to the angelic realm, it helps us connect deeper into that love within ourselves. And the same thing with the cosmic beings. When you're connecting with the cosmic beings, you're connecting with that expansive version of yourself. They are extensions of us. They are not different from us. There is a concept that their consciousness is different, right? But that's not outside of us. It is within us. And as we deeper connect into ourselves, because we get to know ourselves, we take the time to pay attention to ourselves, our emotions, our feelings, our pain, our happiness, our sadness. When we take the time to connect into those things, you're also deepening that connection with those other realms. It's just a natural way of doing it, because you're getting back in touch with the part of you that's already expanded. You're getting back into touch with remembering who you are. And when I say who you are, I mean on a soul level, not, and yes, like even individually, right? Like we have to remember who we are as individuals too, because that is part of our experience here on earth, is that we get to be individuals. Yes, of course, we are tied to a collective because we are part of humanity, but we are also connecting back to that individuality that is us. So when we are working with that, with deepening the connection, it's about listening to yourself, listening to and connecting into those parts of yourself that you haven't really looked at in a long time, right? It's expansion. It is not, an expansion is even sometimes like an external concept, like you feel like you're expanding out. Actually, you expand in, which is kind of an odd way of looking at it, but it's true. Like you expand inward, not outward. And if you are expanding outward, it's because you are expanding in. So as you put energy into yourself and you put focus and time and love into you, that expands out of you naturally. You don't have to force it out of you. So when we work on connecting with, say, the angelic realm exists, but it doesn't exist the way that we do. It exists in a very different form, in a different function. So when you're connecting to that, you're allowing that part of yourself to open. And that's the amazing part. You get to open yourself up to more of these more like magical experiences, right? You're opening up the magic within yourself. And I know a lot of people sometimes have poor experiences with connecting, especially they're trying to connect to their angels and their guides, and they're trying to connect to the cosmic beings that they feel so at home with. But there is still, you have to work on yourself too, because your body is the filter between the connection, right? Because your soul and your body are physical, they embody you. You are an embodiment of your soul. So it's a thing. So if your body is cluttered with trauma, and all of these things. And especially if you've experienced more pain in your life than, say, unconditional love, right? So you're trying to tap into the angelic realm, right? Well, the angelic realm is unconditional love only. they don't they don't really live in pain and suffering. Yes, they can come to you anytime because you are technically unconditional love at your core, but it's going to be a fuzzied connection because you're not going to be able to interpret what they're saying to you correctly. And that's where the bad experiences happen, is we're using our own filters to filter the pure energy of the angels and of the cosmic beings. And of course, everyone can have their own interpretation of the cosmic beings as well as the angels and any other being out there, or light being, if you want to call it that. But you have to understand the very basics of it, is that anything you're interpreting through your own filter. If there is fear in you, that fear is trickling into the entire process of your connection. It is not because you're doing anything wrong. It's just that's what all the shadow work is for. And honestly, sometimes when we work with these connections, it helps deepen our shadow work because it helps us bring more depth into ourselves, right? So we get to open up to these different aspects of ourselves, and we have the opportunity to face them. When we're connecting into these other areas, right? Say like the angels, and you have to drop your preconceived understandings of what angels are, right? Like we've humanized the angels at this point, right? We've made them into a person, and that is not what they are. The angels are a consciousness. They do not exist in a physical form. They don't have wings necessarily. They're not they're not literal. You have to understand that you're connecting into an energy. You're not connecting to an individual. And the only individual you're connecting to is yourself. So you've got to remember that if you're struggling to have a connection with the angels, the cosmic beings, any of them, that connection is based off of you. So if you have not addressed your shadows and you have not addressed the pain that is in you, you're going to filter that entire experience through pain and through fear. So that's what you're going to get. And it's not meant, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just being honest with you because I want you to understand that it can be difficult to develop and deepen that connection with them, but I don't want you to give up. I want you to keep trying. And honestly, the angels even want you to keep trying. They want to connect with you and they want you to be with them. And the same with the cosmic beings, like their connection is so real and so raw, and it is a wonderful experience. It is full of love and it feels amazing. Like you'll feel like you're at home when you're with them. So the entire point of this is that the connection is real. There is a connection between you, your soul, your cosmic self, your angelic self. And that's actually a better way of saying it, right? Like these are parts of you. This is not something that's outside of you, something that you have to go outside of yourself to get. It is all right here. And when you take the time to process and go through some of the things that have hurt you and the things that are stopping you from having an open connection with yourself, and instead of living in denial, you come forward and you live in these aspects of yourself. You live as the angelic version of you. You live as that expanded cosmic version of you. You get to be with them in that essence because you can connect within yourself to that part of you. That's what it's about. Yes, it's great to want to have conversations and connect out with these beings, and they will show themselves however they can when the timing is right for you. They're not going to force themselves on you, and they're going to try their very hardest not to scare you, because we are very scared of those things, and that's okay. But you have to understand that they're not going to put themselves in a place to hurt you. They do not want to hurt you. They don't want to make you feel like the connection is scary, because they don't want to deter you from furthering your development with that connection. So even though you are connecting within, you're still connecting to that collective, to that consciousness, because that also lives within you. So when you're connecting with these beings, you don't want to hurt yourself. You unconditionally love yourself at your very core. There's no way you want to hurt yourself on purpose, right? So these beings have they reflect back the exact same thing to you. They don't want to hurt you, and they're not going to force you to do anything that you are uncomfortable with as far as connecting with them. They're not going to force it on you. So this is something that, if it's something that interests you naturally, then you should take it upon yourself to work on connecting to that part of you too. Connect within and work with that shadow, work with that fear. Why are you afraid of connecting with the angelic realm? Why are you afraid of connecting with the cosmic beings? What fears are there that are holding you back? When you look at those fears and you discover them, that's going to release you from the fear. And it may still feel uncomfortable to you, but you will work through it, and you're going to push yourself because you know that the connection is real, because you can feel it, right? So, and this is maybe just partially my experience. I connected very well with the feeling of the angels and the feeling of the cosmic beings. They have a different experience, and I love how they feel. Their energy feels good to me. It feels safe and like it's at home. And I know other people have different types of like psychic abilities, and they have like maybe clairvoyance, so maybe they have more of a visual experience with angels or cosmic beings, or they have more of a dialogue with them. And all of these are 100% valid. But that's part of it, is you have to figure out how you connect with them. And that's how you also have to figure out how you connect with yourself, right? Some of us we connect to how we feel. And some of us connect better with our third eye and our visuals. And some of us connect better with our audience, like our clairaudience. And there's nothing wrong with any of them. They're all 100% valid, but you may be stronger in one than the other. So figuring out where those come in first is going to be a very big help for you when you're connecting to these other realms. And so anyway, so just try to discover a little bit and work on yourself and work on the connection with you, but also just have fun with it too. Like, remember what it was like to be a little kid. It's hard to do sometimes because it seems like so long ago, right? But if you can take that time to try to like connect back into that little kid and just kind of have fun with it, and don't make it so serious, and don't make it like, my life's going to fall apart if I don't connect with these beings, and it's okay. there's no rules. There's there's no set time frames for anything. It's perfectly fine however it unfolds for you. And connection may be uncomfortable sometimes, but that doesn't mean anything bad. It means that you're growing. It means that you're deepening the connection. So keep kind of working through those fears that come up. I'm not saying you have to put yourself in bad situations, but work through some of those fears, identify them, and if you feel comfortable, try to face some of those fears. Like, and I don't ever want you to do anything to hurt yourself or anyone else, but if you can push yourself a little bit outside your comfort zone here and there, that would be so beneficial, and it does make the connection stronger because you're you're working with yourself, right? So anyway, I really just wanted to kind of go deeper into this subject with you guys, and it's a really important part of the whole like healing process, because they can be super healing as well. And it's really just connecting back into yourself. Like that is the most important part of that. The other things honestly are kind of, they want you to heal yourself, they want you to be good. So that's where the main focus is. You focus on yourself and they will come and join you. Like it will happen naturally. So just stay focused on yourself and connecting in with them, and set the intentions to connect with them as well. But if nothing happens, just don't lose hope, just keep going. Because it's easy to lose hope and it's easy to get scared, but just keep going and find those parts of you that is pure love, is expansion and understanding and infinite wisdom. They're all you. So play with it, have fun, and yeah, just give it a go. I hope this helps, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.